This is Rahul Shaw. Okay, so in this tutorial, we are going to learn about functions. So let's start with the normal function, then we will go to the fat arrow functions. Okay, so we will discuss about like what is the difference between the normal function and the fat arrow functions. Okay, so this is the example of normal functions which we are going to discuss now first. So normal function, like whenever we want to create a normal function, that time we will start with the function keyword. Okay, and then the function name, like whatever name wanted to give. Then inside this curly bracket, we have to provide our like lines. Okay, whatever the function will go to execute. Okay, will execute. Yeah, logic, whatever logic it will perform, we are going to write here. Okay, so this is the basic example of function. So function, see, this is like a function which is not returning anything. So if we want to return anything from the function, just what we have to do, we can write a return keyword and we can return like 120. Okay, suppose this function is a parametric function which is accepting some number. Okay, so based on this number, it is calculating some factorial and returning the result. Okay, so this is the way like we can write a parametric function which will return some value. Okay, it will accept some parameter like this and it will return the value. Okay, so how we can call this function? We can call this function just by function name and the bracket. Inside this bracket, it is expecting some value. So we can just pass one number like this. Oh, sorry, I am wrong here. We have to just call the function name like this. So, so as we know, see here, like this is returning some value, right? So if it is returning, we need to collect it also, right? So that's why what we will do here is we can create one variable like constant. We can take a result is equal to factorial. So whatever this value is returned that we have stored inside this result variable, right? Now we can print this result also, and we can see what it is printing right now. So here, if you see, it will print 120 node function. Okay. So this is the basic example of normal function. Now let's see how we can convert this normal function to fat arrow function. The same thing. Now we are again going to write the same thing. Let's see how we can write for fat arrow function. So when we define a fat arrow function, that time we don't need this function keyword. Okay, so let's remove this function keyword. Okay, so how it will become? We don't need this function keyword. We don't need the function name also. Okay, so now it will look like this. Okay, so we have to place a like this arrow symbol before the curly bracket. So this is the syntax for fat arrow function. Okay, so now let's see how we can write this like factorial program with the help of arrow function. Okay, so this is a we can also call this function as an anonymous function, which because this function don't have the name, so we can assign this function okay to some variable. Okay, let's create one variable here. So I'm creating one variable as a result where I am assigning this anonymous function. Let's do as a fat result fat. Okay, so this is like anonymous function and which is returning 120. Okay, and let's pass here a parameter also like a number. Okay, so this is example of a fat arrow function. Okay, which is accepting some input and returning some like value. Okay, how we can execute this fat arrow function? We can just call here result fat and we can pass some number like 5. Okay, so this will return something. Okay, the same way we can we can directly do console log also because it's returning something. We can print like this. So it will also print like 120. Okay, but now let's see like what is the basic difference between both this function. Okay, so here we have a name, we have a function keyword. Here we don't have the name, we don't have the function keyword also. So this is the like very short way to write a function. Even like if we have just one line, so what we can do, we don't need this curly bracket also. Okay, we can write like this. We don't need this return also. Can directly write like this. So this is the very short and clean code. Okay, so let's run this example and see. See here, it's printing 120. Okay, so it means this line and this complete things are same, right? So now suppose if we don't have, if we have multiple parameters, so we can define like num1, num2 like that. We can define the parameter and we can add here also like 120 plus num plus num2 like that. Okay, and whatever like we are passing here, we don't have this num2, so num1. Okay, so like we are passing here 5 and 2. Okay, let's see what it will print. Okay, so 5 is going inside the num and 2 is going inside the num1. Okay, so it will print 125 plus 2, 127, right? So let's see how it is printing right now. So it's printing 127. So this is another way of writing the fat arrow function. But this way we can write only when we don't have multiple lines. We have, if we have just one line, so it will automatically return this single line. Okay. So suppose if we don't have any parameter, so what is the right way to write? Okay, suppose we don't have any parameter. Let's remove this num also. So I think this is another way to write this. Okay, let's see what it will print. So it will print the same result. Okay, right, 120. Let's see what is another way of writing this. Can we remove this bracket also? So if we remove this bracket, then we need to remove this also. So it will not work. It's just directly we are assigning this, right? So I think is there any other way? Let's figure out in Google. Fat arrow function in JavaScript. Okay, function with without parameters ना. अरे यार, अरे क्या हो रहा है? Function. How to write a fat arrow without using function parameters. Arrow. Let's see MDN network. Arrow function expression. Mm, see, this is the way na, like param expression. Okay, bracket expression. If we have one parameters, we can write it like this also. Okay, so suppose if we have just one parameters, so it is telling like we don't have to define the bracket also. We can write like num1 and this. Okay, suppose we want to just return num1. So this is the right way, right? If we give define here 5, so it should return 5. Yes. So this is the way we can write the like fat arrow function if we have one parameter. What if we have multiple parameters? Can we write like this? No, we can. We can't write like this. We have to define this bracket. Sorry. Yeah, yeah. So if multiple parameters are there, we need to define the parenthesis. If just a single parameter is there, then we can write in just without parameters also, right? Without parentheses also, right? So if we have a single line for return, so we can write directly like this. If we have multiple lines to return, then we have to define the curly bracket, and then we can inside this we can return this, right? Suppose if we have to like num1 is equal, some calculation is there, num2 plus 2, and then we have to define this return num1. Then this is the way we can do. We can't write this in one line. Okay. So let's come to the next. So this is all the way we can write the like this fat arrow function. So let's come to some other thing. What is pending here? What which we have not explored? See, this is they are telling us this is the traditional anonymous function, right? Okay, so now they are telling how we can convert this traditional anonymous function to the fat arrow function. So what they are telling is remove the word function. So here we are removing the word function and place the arrow between the argument and the opening body bracket like this. So this they are telling to remove the function and place the arrow between this. Okay, so now second line they are telling remove the body braces and word return, and return is implied. Now third line they are telling like remove the parameter parenthesis also because we have just one parameter. Okay, so this is the way we can write. So in the example above, both the parenthesis around the parameter and the braces around the function body may be omitted. Okay, this is all fine. Now again, let's see here, like they are telling this is the traditional anonymous function. So anonymous function, as we discussed, like the function which don't have the name, that is called as anonymous function, right? So here what they are telling, like this is the arrow function, like how we are converting this anonymous function to arrow function. See, We have removed the function keyword. We have removed the return keyword because there is only one line to return. So that's why we are directly writing like this. Now let's see here. There is a variable constant a is equal to 4, constant b is equal to 2. Now if we see here, traditional anonymous function, no parameters. So suppose this is the traditional way of writing, right? What it will do, once this function will go to the execution context, so that time it will just look for this a and b plus standard. Okay, so it will take from the like top. Okay, but how we can write in the arrow function? See, this is the way we can write in the arrow function. Okay, so this will also work like if we can run this program. Okay, so let's remove whatever we have written here. Let's write this and let's write this arrow function with no parameters. Okay, so it should print what? 4 plus 2, 6, 106. But it will not print now because we have not like added any console logs, right? So it will not print, right? So how it will print? Can we do like this console.log the whole thing? Yeah, it's returning a function. It means what? Can we do like this? Suppose if it's returning a function, so we can call that function like this. Yeah, 106. Is it fine, right? So let's come here. So here they are telling this is a traditional anonymous function again, like return a plus b plus chunk. Here we have a parameter a and b. Same thing they are telling, like remove this function keyword, place the arrow keyword, and if there are multiple lines, then we have to write inside the braces only. Okay. So here, if you'd see, this is a traditional function Bob. So they have created one more function like Bob2 is equal to. They are giving this bracket inside that they are placing the parameter, and we don't need this curly bracket because there is a single line. That's why. Now, the another topic is function body. So arrow function can have either a concise body or a usual blocky body. Okay. In a concise way, only a single expression is specified. Okay. When becomes the implicit return value in a blocky body, you must use an implicit return statement. So this they are telling basically this is the like concise body and this is the blocky body which will have multiple lines like that. So calling function return undefined. Okay, we will discuss this later. So basically, now what I wanted to discuss is one more thing, the important point of this fat arrow function. Okay, so yeah, this one is very important topic. So let's copy this first. Yeah, this is a very important for the interview purpose also. So what they are telling cannot be used as a method. Okay, arrow function expressions should only be used for non-method function. Okay, because they do not have their own this. Okay, so this is a very important. Okay, so a normal function will have a this, its own this. Okay, but a callback like the fat arrow function don't have this their own this. Okay, it will always refer to the window, like global window object. Okay, so if you run this program, okay, let's remove whatever is written here. So this is a program. Okay. So what we are writing here, we have created a object, object. Okay. So where we have a I, then B is a function which is a fat arrow function, right? And in this, what we are writing console.log this dot I. Okay. And here again we are passing the this. And here there is a function C. Okay, which is a traditional function, which is again here printing console.log this dot I. Do you know what this will print and what this will print? If we call object.p and object.c, what will be the output for this and why? Hemant Gana. I'll just define like this. Let's go for this for now. Okay, so this is a traditional function and this is the fat arrow function. Okay, so as we know that fat arrow function, whenever we use, okay, inside an object, so that time what will happen? This, okay, this will not be referred to this object. Okay, this is the part of global object. This fat arrow function don't know about this. This always refer to the global object. So here it will search this in the global. So do we have a I in the global? No. Ha. So this is undefined. But we have a this in the global. How? What is that this in the global? This is always refers to, if you even like print like this, na, if you directly print console.log this, you know what it will print? It will just print window object. It will refer to the window object. We can see here, like if you go here now, let's remove this and just print here this. See, window object. If you print window, it will refer to the window object. Same is right. So basically here the this let's remove this, okay, and just uncomment this. In the arrow function, the this is referring to the global object. Okay, that is a window object. Okay, so here also it will search I in the window object. Okay, so I think we don't have I in the window object, and we never assigned I in the window object. That's why it will not be able to find this I. Okay, so it will print undefined. Okay, and this will print like window object or maybe object. Okay, but here this is a traditional function, so this is a benefit of traditional function. Okay, so here it will print, you know what, this will this like particular line in this array has both is this only. Okay, so here it will refer to this one, this is scope only. Okay, so here in this scope it is referring to this I. Okay, so it means it will print 10, and this particular this will print what? This one, this object. It will not refer to the global object because this is a traditional object. So traditional object will have the access of this, but this fat arrow function will not have the access of this. So it will always be access the global object. Got it right? So what it will print? It will print undefined and window, and this will print what? This object it will print. Okay, whatever present inside this object, it will print that. Maybe like curly bracket like that. Okay, let's see this both examples. Okay, see first one what it's printed. It's printed undefined, right? This is a global object, but see this should be global. It should print global object. Maybe it's not printing here. It will print here. If you run execute this code here, na, see undefined and window, right? Okay, and C for 3, it is printing 10 and the this object, right? It's fine, right? Any doubt? So this is the very big difference. Okay, we are like we never know. Like I also don't know about this. Okay, I just exploring and I got this solution. Like this is a very big difference, man. We don't know like how it will work. We just we I was knowing like this us this is both are same, and we just have to like this is a shorter way to write the code. This is what I was knowing earlier. Okay, so now let's come to another example. Okay, let's make this also like see this is a traditional function, right? We can write like this also. Okay, so this is also same, like whatever written earlier now, that is also same. Both are same. Like if you run again, it will print the same result. See, okay. So either way you can write. You can directly write a function here, okay, or you can define a key value like this. Got it? This is the one new thing which we are exploring today. Okay. Any doubt? Okay. So now just let me change this little bit. Okay. So now this here, yeah, same thing I was thinking. Now what we are doing here, we have a set timeout. Okay. And this is a function. Okay. Let me just write by now. So so this is a set timeout. And you know what is set timeout? Set timeout basically have two parameters. Okay. The one parameter is the callback function, and another parameter is the time. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are passing a callback function and a some time. Okay, so after this time, this function will be executed. Correct. So now what we are doing here is inside this callback function, I want to write, like I want to define it's a function, right? So I want to define some function here. So let's define here a function, a fat arrow function. Okay. And here I want to write console.log I. Okay. So now I want to understand, now I want to check like what it will print after 1 second. This I will be it will take it from here or it will take it from global. What it will print? Hemant, gonna see. Let's remove this also. We don't need this because it's a one line, right? Now it will be like this. Yeah. So basically, what we are doing here is these b is a variable key which is having a value, a function, right? And this function is basically a fat arrow function, okay, which is returning this set timeout. Okay, so when this set timeout will execute after 1 second, what it will print? Undefined. Okay, how undefined? Sorry, I have written I na. We should write this dot I, right? Yeah, yeah. So let's think what it will print. Yeah. What about Gana? You got it? Like why it will be done like that? See, basically, let's explore this. We are calling this B, right? After that, we are calling it C. But B have some asynchronous operation where we don't know, like it will come, like whatever we are doing here, it will come after 1 second. Okay. So it will directly go here. Okay. 10. But how 10? It's a like fat arrow function, right? How it will be 10? So it will always refer to, let's see once. Okay. I think it should print like undefined only, but let's see once. Undefined, right? See what is happening here. This function is returning this one. Okay. And once this is returned, okay, this after 1 second, this will execute, right? And here also we are returning console.log this dot I. And this is a fat arrow function. So fat arrow inside the fat arrow function, this dot I will always be referring to global object. And in the global, we don't have I, correct? Now let me change this to function. Okay. Now tell me what it will print. Hmm. So what do you think? It will be undefined. Okay. So okay, I will also think what it will print. So basically, B is a key, and we here we have a arrow function. Okay. So once this arrow function will execute, okay, so that time it will return this one. This is a callback function. But so this will come here. Okay. So this function is a traditional function. So that time this traditional function have this console log. So I am thinking it should print 10, but let's see. I'm not sure. Undefined, man. You are correct. Because here is the arrow function, na? Because here we don't have the scope of I. So how it will refer? Yes, correct. So basically, as per the definition, like and whatever program we have executed, as per this, what we got to know, like inside the arrow function, even after that, we have a traditional function also. So that will always execute the that will always refer to the global window object. Okay, it will not look for the like local variable. Okay, yeah, let's try that also. error, reference error, because here where is the I? See, I is not a variable, right? If we define I here, then maybe like huh? Object dot I. Inside that, how we can not? I think it will not access, right? Yeah. Oh man, it's correct. So object dot I, if we are writing, so it is directly taking that particular object and extracting the value. But we can't do like this, na, anywhere. That we have a this, so we have to access like that only. So see, when now from this what we learn is we can call like particular object name also. See why it printed now, because in the memory I think this object is created, right, and we are calling directly that particular I from that object. That's why it's printed like this. Okay, so what if we yeah, correct. So I think we have enough information for this, right? Do we have any doubt? Like any doubt in this? So as we see this dot I, this is throwing undefined, right? Okay. But at this point of time, what we like got from this structure is basically inside the fat arrow function. If we want to access the this, so it will always refer to the global object, window object, right? But to resolve this issue, we have to use a traditional function. Okay. So this is the learning from this particular session, like fat arrow function. Okay. So these two things, I think we got it right. Now shall we come to some next tutorial? Like we already explored the normal function, we already explored the fat arrow function. Now shall we come to the callback function? Where here? No, here it will always undefined now, because as per the definition, this should be always inside this fat arrow function. This is not like it will always take refer to the global window object. Yeah. So as per the definition, it will print undefined only. Okay. So let's come to the like the next. Yeah. So let's. Do you know about callback function? Passing a function as a parameter is a callback function. So let's explore little about callback function also. So I think this till here Gana is clear, right? Hemant, I'm also clear till here. Let's see. Callback function. Okay. So as per the definition, what we know right now is uh, we can send function as a param in another function, right? So this is the definition. So suppose there is a function calculate. Okay. So this is having some uh, like this is having a some a comma b. Okay. And what we have to do, we have to pass here what operations we have to perform. Operations function. Okay. So here we will define operations, what operations we have to perform, and here we will define the two number. Okay. So what it will do, let's call this function first. Uh, let's define one operation function, like function sum. Sum is the operation function. Okay. If we define something inside, I think my keyboard is not working properly. Okay, if we define something here, a comma b, it should always return a plus b. So this function we have defined, and this function we will pass as the like in this operation function. Okay, so like let's call this calculate function. Calculate. Now let's pass this sum as a parameter. Okay, let's pass a comma b. So here we have a sum function. Okay, is it like that? Okay, so now we have the reference of sum in this function, right? So what if we print here console.log operation function? Okay, let's see what it will print. I think it will print the complete the function, right? It will print the function. So it is printing error. Why a is not defined? Okay, a is not defined because we have not defined here a. Let's pass 1 comma 2. Okay. Now let's see. See, it's showing us function, right? So now we have this function reference inside this as a parameter. So can we do like this operation function? In this we can pass a comma b. Okay, so it will return something, right? So whatever it will return, let's this function will return that same thing. Okay, now let's console this here. Console.log. Sorry. Okay. So tell me what it will print. Heyman Gana, what it will print? See, we don't have operation function, but we are passing this sum in the operation function. Na? So, yeah, here it should be 3, right? Let's see. See, this calculate function, we are passing sum here as a like function in this. So some reference will be stored in this. Okay. Now it will variable will also act as a this parameter will also act as a sum function. So now inside this we are passing a comma b. So if it will go here, it will refer here. It will pass this a comma b here. So it will return a plus b 3. Okay. So whatever it will return, this function will also return the same thing. Okay, so now it's calculate is returning something. Now we are printing that calculate. Let's see what it will print. 3, right? So it's correct, right? So this is the like simple example of callback function. Yes, correct. See, we have created this function sum, which we are passing as a parameter in this calculate function because we are expecting here some function will come. Okay, so we are passing this sum function. Okay, here as a param. So sum is a function, right? How we can call a function like this only, na? Suppose if this is a sum function only, so how we will call sum like this, right? But some reference is stored in the operation function. Okay, so this operation function we are calling and we are passing the a comma b. So this will refer to this function only. Yes. Now you know what? What is the use? What is the benefit of this callback function? Yes. Why we are doing all these things when here and there, here and there? Okay. Now, Heman, do you know what is the benefit of this? Yeah, that is another thing. But let's just focus here. Let's create one more function, multiplication. Okay, a comma b. Okay, and this will return what? A multiply b. Okay. Now let's add here. Now this function we know that this is what it's doing sum operation, right? Now let's call the same calculate function again. Here we are what we are calling multiplication. See how we can reuse this calculate. Here we are passing the reference of multiplication function. Okay. Now if you see, uh, let me just compress this. Now let me see here what it will do. Just think. See, in this line, we are passing the reference of sum. So it will what it will return 1 plus 2. In this function, we are passing the multiplication function reference. So this multiplication function will go here. Okay. Then this multiplication function will execute. So what it will, this line will execute. it will return 2. Got it? See how we can reuse the same calculate function. Okay, let's print this. See, so we can reuse this function, calculate function, anywhere. Like again, if we want some subtraction, so let's subtraction a comma b and return a minus b. Okay. Now let me just add one more here as a subtraction. We will pass subtraction reference here. Okay. So now see how it will work. Here we are passing the sum reference. So sum function will go here and it will execute for sum. Here we are passing multiplication. So the same multiplication will go here in the operation function and it will execute for multiplication. We are not changing anything here. We are passing just the function reference, which function it will refer. Got it? Any doubt? So let's run this also. See, any doubt? It's clear, right? What if we pass something like this? It will execute or it will throw error. Error. Heavens, what do you think? Okay, let's see. I think it will print +1. See, we have not tried this right anywhere because we have a prefix minus. So just minus, it's returning minus plus minus plus minus into minus plus, right? So, so this is clear, right? Till here we are okay. So you got the functionality of callback function, right? So now let's come to this is the example of callback function. So now we till here we are clear. Now let's come to another topic. What is another topic? Another topic is pure function. What is pure function? Now let's yeah. Haha. Okay, man. Yeah. So what is pending is pure function. The pending things which we have to discuss again is pure function. Okay. Then another topic is high order function. Okay. And what is another topic? Another topic is basically I have seen like somewhere function is called as first order object in JavaScript. We will see this also. Okay, what is the meaning of this? So these three things we are going to discuss in the next session. Okay, fine. Okay, yeah. So I think that's it. Let me just stop